Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Remember the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another podcast you want to listen to, and find all of our old episodes, t-shirts, gear at bjjshow.com. Check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, Tape Armor, and Rolls Gear. I'm Rob, and today I had a episode with Aaron. Now, Aaron just completed his first tournament in a while this past Saturday and did a hell of a job. And, we talked a lot about what it takes to get ready for a tournament, some of the fears you might have, just some other all-around stuff. So I really do hope you do enjoy the episode. And like I said, you check us out at bjjshow.com, rate and review us on iTunes, and I'll see you guys next time. In all fairness, I kind of feel like this is almost an opium den the way I'm sitting on the couch.
Yeah, you kind of got it set up. It's super comfortable and kind of dark.
I feel like we have the best podcasting couch ever. I think that is something we can actually lay a claim to, that we have the best couch for podcasting.
I think it's pretty good. It's nice and wide. It seems like you kind of replaced some of the cushions here on the back with pillows, which is nice.
We put the little sleeves on them because these shithead dogs just they're nasty.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, so these are...
Yeah, they're just covers.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, man. It's big, man. It's a good couch.
I feel like we did well. Well, yeah. I mean, we didn't specifically buy it for podcasting, but, it's we work with what we got.
It's a good place to chill and talk.
It really is. And speaking of talking, it's the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. I'm Rob.
I'm Aaron.
Man, we are on the heels of what somebody on Reddit pointed out was probably the most lackluster Worlds ever.
Did you watch it?
I didn't watch any of it.
No, I didn't watch any of it either.
I watched the highlights and so the big thing was Keenan Cornelius's match.
I've been following that. Apparently, he had a big post on Instagram.
Yeah.
And in his Insta story, so he called out the IBJJF, and he also called out Flow Grappling.
Yeah.
Apparently, and then of course I didn't watch the match, but being the Instagram snooper that I am, I have been paying attention to the various social media accounts from Keenan and from IBJJF and Flow Grappling, sort of clicking around, seeing who commented. I saw that Andre Galvao, he commented on Keenan's thing, and so did the Mendez brothers, and in support of Keenan, and which is, when you have them in your corner, I think that's pretty clear that you're probably in the right.
Yeah.
And I've always known, I don't know Keenan Cornelius, but based on everything I've seen of Keenan, he always seems like a straightforward dude. I don't think he's the kind of guy who, we're talking about high level competition, and when you get to high level competition with anything, this competition was decided by advantages, or it was supposed to be decided by advantages, clear advantages that are within the rules. When you get to high level competition in any sport, winning and losing is generally decided by very small margins of error. When we talk about things like track and field, we're talking about hundredths of a second. And here in jiu-jitsu, there's a lot more ability for competitors to if you just do something or move a different way, there's you're moving a lot, they're moving a lot. So yeah, people hit submissions and stuff, but at times it is decided by these very small things, these advantages, these positions. But that's the scoring system, and if it's clear that they didn't do it correctly, they have a pattern of doing that, then I think that's bullshit. It's like MMA judging. That would Darren Till have won a decision in Liverpool if it weren't for the judges? We don't know. But in this case, I think he has a lot of support behind him.
Well, I was going to say, there's a big difference between, a questionable split decision in an MMA fight versus a very clear, and yeah, I'm a little biased, back take by Keenan.
Yeah.
On during his match, and then the ref's like, meh, whatever.
Yeah. Was there a video of like the end of it or something?
Well, I actually have Flow grappling. And,
oh, you do? Oh,
yeah,
so
yeah.
you watched the match?
Yeah, so
okay.
I'm sorry. Like we watch we'll watch some fight to wins and stuff. Like we did that one time. We need to keep doing that, but also like I'm kind of torn though because there's a lot of weird shit going on with Flow as well. One of the big things, and I guess it's kind of like maybe it's more or less like there's not really like a black and white answer to everything. Like one, it's really shitty that Flow Grappling now monopolizes any video that comes out of any IBJJF tournament. So if you're if you took a video of your match, you post it up on YouTube for grandma, Flow Grappling's going to roll up and just slap it out of your hand pretty much. Say, no, that video belongs to us. You shouldn't be videotaping this event because we have all the rights to it. All the rights to you, and I don't know what the competition agreement is, but pretty much saying, fuck you, the video of you rolling is ours. I don't give a shit who, I don't care.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, one, Flow Grappling gives you a lot of stuff to watch, but two, you've got that, and then also one of the head guys of it is Highwell Teague. He's the guy who was supposed to make the Red Belt documentary. The guy who did the crowdfunding for $13,000.
Okay.
And just fucking disappeared with the money.
Really?
And he's like, it's there's a lot of moving pieces. The moving pieces are like there's a lot of moving pieces involved.
And that's true. There are a lot of moving pieces, but you're supposed to move those pieces in the correct direction.
Yeah. So anytime it gets brought up, he's like, I'll ignore it. Wow. And he still posts up like on Reddit, and he'll post up in the UK BJJ Underground. Somebody called him out on it, and he got all pissy about it. But so I mean, that's like what Flow Grappling is pretty much. Is they got this guy, and I don't know, man. But like I said, it's kind of shitty.
He took $13,000 and
it was
didn't do anything with it.
Supposedly not. Like he's
like, what is his excuse?
That it cost more than what he thought, and like what was it? That there was so much footage that he has to go through, and I think it's been 5 years.
That's a long time.
Yeah, that's
that Stuart Cooper dude could fucking do that stuff a lot quicker.
Stuart Cooper is a genius.
Yeah, that dude pumps out like so many films, man.
He does.
He's got some of the best stuff on YouTube right now. I mean, he's done stuff on Danaher, I think. I might be talking on my ass.
Wow.
Yeah, he's done stuff on Rickson.
Rickson Garcia.
Rickson. He hasn't done anything on Royce, has he?
Nah, not Royce Garcia.
Didn't do anything on Royce or Renzo. Yeah, well, no, he's producing stuff. But I mean, the thing about YouTube is that you have to be somewhat prolific in order to make money off of it. And of course, I'm sure that in addition to the views. So I mean, that's an interesting thing about YouTube for Stuart Cooper. I wonder, he probably makes decent money from the like companies that sponsor within his YouTube channel, even if his video gets like 75,000 views because it's a niche market, which in YouTube terms is not that much as far as money. No. They do a lot of that's 75,000 people that are viewing that are far more likely to buy a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu product than just 75,000 random people, So, well, anyway, yeah, it's fucked up that he took that money, man. That's sort of the like there's no safeguards with crowdfunding.
No, it's
you have to know, you have to be willing to put your money and just know that there's a possibility that it could be thrown away, It could just go away. I mean, you have to sort of trust.
God damn it, Krieger. Get out of here.
You got a good boy. He's licking my face. This little puppy's
come on,
licking my face. I think he likes me a lot.
Dude, he does, man. It's because you're a guest, and he has a really good job of just throwing us off of our fucking conversation,
yeah,
too.
He's licking me, and I'm sort of...
Hey, where's your Frisbee?
Yeah.
Where's your Frisbee?
Hey, go get your thing.
There you go. Good dog. All right. So, I mean, the only time I've seen crowdfunding go bad, or people actually get their money back is when it's been proven to be a fraud like that. Like, who was it? That kid that was crying on the video about being bullied and how people bully him because he looks funny. It turns out he's dropping the N-bomb with a hard ER at the end, like calling his classmates that. And like, dude, you fucking deserve every second of being
You brought
bullied.
that on yourself, big dog.
Yeah, so you're not going to the Avengers premiere. You ain't hanging out with Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian doesn't give a shit about you. And then people got their money back for that because it turned out to be like fraudulent. Or what I want to see, and this is like, maybe me being a little douchey about the whole thing, but if you crowdfunding for your run at Worlds as a white belt, fucking stop.
What?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Fucking stop. Yeah, absolutely. So, like, what's funny is
I'm learning
the Big Jiu-Jitsu Instagram
history right now.
Yeah. The Big Jiu-Jitsu Instagram page and Facebook page will occasionally get the whole, hey, do you mind sharing this to help? We're trying to raise money so we can go to Worlds. And like, look, I get it. Everybody wants to go to Worlds. A lot of people who compete want to go to Worlds, and it sucks having to count pennies and whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on you. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to go. For sure. What I am saying is that
you should probably get a job.
Yeah, a job's pretty good. And then, like, asking for a handout for it is something else, right? Goods and services is one thing. Yeah. Like, if you raise money and you use T-shirts, makes sense. I get something out of it. You get something. Geese for GIs did that. Like, they raise money by selling rash guards. Yeah. You get something tangible.
Dude, ask your mom for money. This is the thing. Like, hey, man, don't ask random people. You're going to something that's a voluntary competition. People do that all the time. What do you need to do? You need to fucking buy a plane ticket? Save up to buy a plane ticket. Save up for a hotel room. Split it with somebody.
Yeah, if only there was a schedule that some competitions would put out that would be about the same time next year. Yeah. Like, shit, man. I wonder when Europeans is going to be next year.
How do you get into Worlds? Do you just sign up?
I think you just sign up, man.
Is there
I think you got to qualify as a black belt, but usually you just sign up.
If you're like a blue belt, you just sign up and just travel. That's the thing. It's a totally fucking voluntary thing. Listen, man, great. Pursue your jiu-jitsu dreams. There's no money in it. Yeah. But go ahead and pursue your jiu-jitsu dreams. But also, you could probably do what the rest of us do and have a real fucking job. I'm just saying, like, jiu-jitsu is amazing. Unless you're going to teach jiu-jitsu, you're probably going to need a job anyway to support whatever it is that you want to do. And the other thing is, like, I'm sure that there's places you can go where if you're good enough, you can get into this sort of, like, bohemian lifestyle where you're living in a house together with a bunch of other people. All you do is train. You work part-time at Starbucks or something to help support, pay the bills. You mop the mats, you work at the academy, whatever. But, like, that's the grind, man. That's the grind in anything that you want to do. Crowdfunding to go to a competition that's a voluntary thing that is you can do for the rest of your life. You can do jiu-jitsu competitions for literally until you can't walk anymore. But doing that, I mean, it's just kind of selfish, man. It's just like why should I help you? It's if you're my friend, sure, right? But just randomly crowdfunding. I did it. I mean, I think crowdfunding. I've seen a lot of bad crowdfunding campaigns.
Yeah, same here. I was trying to find something for it.
That's okay. I've seen a lot of bad crowdfunding campaigns. Most of the time, man, it's like, I've seen people get indignant about, like, I can't believe nobody donated to this. That just blows my mind, man. It's like you have a cause, that is important to you, and it's not. You're not framing it correctly, or people see it and they say, well, this is sort of extraneous. This isn't necessary. This isn't something that I really. I'm getting behind. Like, I crowdfunded one time in my life, and I never thought that I would. But I crowdfunded because when I was in Afghanistan, I worked with an interpreter his name is the name that we called him was Jack. Yeah. And Jack went on hundreds of patrols with me, foot patrols, through the Afghan countryside. We would talk to Afghan village elders every day. We would sit there and we would drink tea with them, and we'd eat bread. And I would talk to these guys who had fought the Soviets, who'd fought, against the Taliban or for the Taliban or whatever. And I was doing that. I was 21 years old, and I would walk from one village to another, and in between these villages, there were IEDs. And he was walking right behind me every single step of the way, interpreting for me. He never said no to anything that I asked him. He never complained once. So we get to the end of the deployment. I write him a letter of recommendation. Maybe it was after that, after the end of the deployment. But I wrote him a letter of recommendation because nobody else would. And the only reason nobody else would is because I think that a lot of people they just either don't know how to do it or they just don't fucking have the time. It was me and my buddy Scott. Now I think of it, we both wrote letters of recommendation. I mean, I think sometimes like something that's really important to somebody else, you just can't seem to you can't make that connection to make it important to you. So they think but anyway, so I wrote a letter for him to get what's called a special immigrant visa, and he was waiting. This is back when these things were taking years, and he waited in the process for years and years and years. And then he was stalling, and I did a bunch of stuff, and we helped him, and finally he got his visa, and I wanted to raise some money for him to come to the United States. Like, he was going to have his plane ticket paid for and everything, and he was going to have assistance when he got here. But I wanted him to have some money so he could get his life off the ground. Yeah. So I posted that on Facebook, and I was just like, look, I'm going to put my own money towards this, but, you got a lot of you guys know this story. This would be really helpful if you guys would do this. And I was just really genuine, and he really needed it. It wasn't for me. I wasn't going to take any of the money. And I think that's the thing about crowdfunding, is that when you're crowdfunding for something for yourself, unless you have cancer, honestly, I'm probably not interested, And I don't know, man. Maybe that's just the American way. Maybe we just sort of think that people should be independent and should be able to, if you want to do something, well, you should figure out a way to do it. And if you, I don't know. But anyway, that was the only time that I crowdfunded. We raised like $3,000, and it was great.
It's good. That's real good. No, but I mean, like, that's the type of stuff. Like, people are like, hey, why don't you crowdfund my fucking vacation? Like, well, how about you fucking crowdfund it yourself?
Yeah, how about you save your money better? I mean, this is the other thing, man. It's like, for every person out there trying to get money from other people to do something that they want, there's a bunch of people that are foregoing stuff in order to have the life that they want, to pursue the dreams that they want. For everybody who's out there eating acai bowls every day and, and having only organic food and going to the bar, going to do this and this, or eating out, and then trying to crowdfund their way to a jiu-jitsu competition, there's somebody who is never going out, who is saving all of their money, who's re-wearing the same clothes over and over and over, that doesn't have those brand new... Fuck, man, I don't even know most of the jiu-jitsu brands. The Shoyo roll, the brand new Shoyo roll gi. He has something that his buddy gave him, or doesn't have those new shorts. It doesn't have the new fucking rash guard. That's like top of the line. It shows up, has been wearing the same rash guard for years, and then just does it because they love to do it, and then they save their money. And they go do this kind of stuff. I mean, what we're talking about is a voluntary sport that is not done in high school. So the stuff that's done in high school, that's that stuff can lead into a real athletic career that can pay for itself. People can pay for that stuff. But the stuff you do afterwards, like jiu-jitsu and CrossFit, it's like somebody saying, "Pay for me to go to CrossFit regionals." Go fuck yourself, man. Politely.
Politely go fuck yourself.
Politely go fuck yourself.
Politely get out of my sight.
Yeah. Well, speaking of competition, I did my first competition.
Yeah, I did want to talk about that.
Yeah.
When I got to lean back like I am in an
man, you look good.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, baby.
Yeah,
I'm wearing my Sweet Rolls. Speaking of asking for free shit, I'm wearing my Sweet Rolls Gear t-shirt from our sponsor, Rolls Gear.
There you go. Yeah. I'm wearing a Triumph Motorcycles t-shirt.
That's pretty bad.
I own a Triumph motorcycle, but I'm not sponsored, and I didn't crowdfund it. I actually bought it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I used money that I got from my JOB, which is this fucking concept where you go somewhere and you exchange your life energy in exchange for money. So I don't know if you guys have heard of that.
Prostitution, or
it's so weird, man. It's basically that you're selling your body, and this is this is the concept, right?
Yeah.
This is what it is. It's you're selling your fucking life energy, and then on the one hand, that's really fucked up, man, because you're like the breath that comes out of you. Like, you only have so many of those, right? So you're selling that fucking your cells dying and reproducing and aging in exchange for fucking paper that you can exchange for shit. And at the end of the day, do I think that that's amazing? Well, no. But also, I think that, I want to eat. So,
yeah.
Anyway, what were we? Oh, my competition.
Talking about, I was going to say you going to Naga, man.
Yeah, so I ended up, I've talked about this before. My competition history in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu was 2 years ago when I was a brand new white belt. I did 2 competitions. So I was about a month into Jiu-Jitsu, and I'd done a little Jiu-Jitsu before in the Marine Corps. So I was just like, I was enamored with this idea of being a competitor. And I had seen a lot of videos on YouTube of competitors, and I thought it was really cool. I'd get my heart rate up. I would really look forward to it. It also made me nervous. So I was like, oh, I'm going to go out and do this. Well, I went to my first competition, and it was just me. I didn't have anybody to corner me, and I was just so nervous that the whole day before and the morning of, I couldn't eat. I was just going to the bathroom over and over. I could barely drink anything, and then I had this adrenaline dump, and it made me so tired that when I actually got out there, I could barely move.
Right.
I ended up winning my first match by triangle just because I think myself and the other guy were so shitty and fucking burnt out, and tired that we just. He just ended up getting into it was an easy triangle. We were white belts. So, but then I lost 2 matches. I ended up getting choked unconscious, and I lost another match and 2 matches. And that was my first competition, and it sucked. It was a Naga. And I just, after that, I was like, dude, fuck this. I don't want to compete anymore. I think the reason why I was so nervous was because I put this expectation on myself. I had 1 or 2 stripes on my white belt at that point, and I put this expectation on myself. There were so many things going through my mind. Does that guy have more stripes on his belt than I do on mine? Oh, well, he's definitely going to beat me. Or I have more stripes than this guy? Well, I definitely have to beat him. I don't know why my brain did this, and I think maybe it's common, maybe it's not common. But for me, that was a real feeling. And also, this expectation that I had to live up to what I thought of myself, and I didn't know what they were going to do. And I also really didn't know what I was going to do. Standing up like that, I didn't have a wrestling background, so I didn't know what step 1 was. So it's like, when I was in the Marine Corps, and I hate to tell another Marine Corps story, but I would think about what would happen if my patrol got blown up by an IED.
Right.
So I thought about that all the time. And the thing that I did was, what is step 1, right? In my head, I'm always like, what is step 1? And step 1 was always to, I think, looking back, it was something like, take a knee and assess the situation, right? And then step 2 was, pull out your radio. Step 3 was, direct, right? Because I knew that was my job as a squad leader. My guys were going to react. We were going to do our immediate action drill. I was going to have to start coordinating stuff.
Right.
Something like that, right? And when it actually happened, that's exactly what I did. And we saved my dude's life. So in this situation, it was an adrenaline-inducing situation, and you go back to your most basic shit. Well, I didn't have my most basic shit. The triangle was basically the only thing I had. You're just... And I couldn't free flow, I couldn't think, I couldn't adapt, I couldn't improvise the way that I did in the gym when I was having fun. So, I did one other competition just because my whole gym went to it, and what at this second competition as a white belt, I was nervous again, extremely anxious. I lost in my division, and then there was a takedown competition where it was just takedowns, and there was an absolute competition. So I actually had a lot of fun in the takedown competition because you would go against anybody. It was like absolute. So I just went out there and I just tried shit. And I beat one guy and I lost to a really good purple belt who foot swept me, and it was amazing. It was a really good foot sweep. And then I did the absolute competition, and I felt completely liberated from all expectations. So I went out into this absolute competition. I scored a takedown, and I got guillotined in mount, and I fucking tapped. But it was fun. That was the fun part right there. I freed myself of my expectation of winning or losing. So fast forward 2 years, I'm a blue belt. I decide, because competition scares me so much, and I talked to you about this, I decided to compete again. And I just said, I'm going to try and approach this from a, analytical perspective. I'm going to say, well, what is it that really fucks me up, and how do I mitigate that? Well, one of the things is if I feel like I haven't been training enough and I feel like I'm going to gas. Okay, so, I know when the competition is. So I train, I do my conditioning over several months, but I don't. Are your allergies fucking you up?
No, I was just clearing my throat.
Oh, okay.
Because I wanted to say something.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. I don't want to say anything. Keep going.
Oh, okay. I thought we might need to turn your thing back on.
No,
okay.
You made me sound like a bubble boy.
Dude, listen, man. I get those too. I get allergies too, man. I get messed up.
I'm in my safe space right now.
It's safe.
You get a little choked up listening to the progress because I got to see it.
Oh, yeah.
You're like, Rob, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And I said,
I've been talking to you about this shit for months.
You
man.
have.
Ever
you
since
really
I got
have.
here. Yeah, it's
and it's like the progress I've seen, and I'll call you out a little bit on the air, but it's like I remember we talked and you're like, I don't know, man, I feel like I'm a brand new blue belt, and I keep telling you that you're not like your skill level is above that of just a guy who just got his blue belt. And that is like a no bullshit, me blowing smoke up your ass, making the listeners feel good. Like it legitimately is. And it's more of like if you were able to believe in the moves that you knew. So like a good example was that first match you put up was that takedown that you've been practicing right into a toe hold pretty much, right?
Yeah.
That is like your two big things that you did. How long did that match last?
It was about 25 seconds.
25 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing is that so for this match I approached it and I said, okay, well, if I disconnect myself, so what I do in training is when I'm going to go against somebody who's a lot bigger than me or I know is more skilled, I often feel better. I feel liberated because I'm like, well, I expect to lose, or I expect to at least, it's going to be whatever it is. It doesn't matter, I'm going against this guy and maybe I'll tap him but he's bigger or he's a higher belt level or whatever, and I expect to lose. And even with white belts and stuff, if I can approach that same mentality, which I often do, then I'll be more creative and I'll recognize them as a threat and I'll really do my game. But I'll have fun with it, and I'll improvise and I'll be fluid and I'll be loose, and the biggest thing is I won't get so tightened up. I feel like physically what happens is when you're very nervous, it really saps your energy. Like it makes your blood, it like prevents your blood from taking oxygen to your muscles. Like I really believe that. Because you can roll in the gym, you have all this you have all this energy, but without the anxiety and adrenaline which persists for me, it's for hours and hours and hours. And so that's hours and hours and hours of burning extra calories, of heart rate being higher, of getting more dehydrated, and just being like it basically is like using up your gas tank before you even start the race. So, but for this, I mentally, so I prepared with physically, and then I told myself 2 weeks out I'd stop drinking alcohol.
Right.
And that was a big deal for me. That was great. And I think that I don't want to, stop drinking alcohol forever. I'm fucking drinking a beer right now. But that was something where I was like, I know alcohol for me, I feel every beer. It affects my performance. So I'm going to cut it out for 2 weeks. And these are just ways of checking boxes mentally for me to say, okay, well, I can do this competition now because I took care of this. I took care of this. I don't even have to worry about it. It's not an excuse. There's no excuses for that now. So what happens, happens. But then the big thing is like the day before and the day of was just shifting my mind to say, I was saying to myself over and over, it doesn't matter. This whole thing is just made up. It's all just a bunch of fucking dudes rubbing against each other. It's literally just, it's nothing. It doesn't matter if I win. It doesn't matter. And I was thinking like who does it matter to if I get tapped out? Is my fucking overbearing father standing over me going to yell at me because I didn't? No, nobody's care. No, like all of my friends that are there, all the people that we roll with, Eva, fucking Steph, everybody, they're all there. They're supporting me whether I win or lose. It doesn't matter. It is all on me. And then the thing is that if I get tapped out there, what's going to happen? Well, there's 8 other matches going on around me. there's a bunch of people, there's some people watching my match, but none of them are going to think, oh, that guy is such a piece of shit. I can't believe that he tapped to that, So physically, mentally, I did both of those things. And then the day of, it was great. I went into it totally zen. I was just completely fucking zenned out. I was ready to roll. It didn't matter if I got tapped out. And so I went into my first match, and I had my plan. I knew what my step one was. I was gonna, I knew what to do on the feet. I knew what my best takedown was, and I just immediately went for it. I got it. I threw the dude over my shoulder, and then once I started passing guard, I saw an open toe. That's something that I see all the time. It's like a Kimura, if you can put your hand on it in a certain way, it's there, So I reached, I grabbed it, I rolled, and I tapped the dude, and that was it. And and then after that, I didn't celebrate. I just, because it was like it didn't matter. So I got back up, some people congratulated me. I talked to some other competitors. Then I put my headphones back in, and I forgot about that match. And I went into the next match exactly the same way. And that was a big deal too, because I mentally, I had gotten to the point where I was, I wasn't thinking about that step one anymore. My mind was sort of distracted. So I had to go back and say, okay, what's your takedown? Like what is your plan when you're standing there? What are you going to do? And then completely forget about the other match. Didn't happen, doesn't matter. And focus on this match, but also this match doesn't matter. And I won the second match. And that was, I got a bye in the first round, so that was pretty cool. But so I beat a guy who beat one guy, and then I beat a guy who beat like two guys, right? So then I got to the finals. And the second match, I fucked up my takedown, but I did my defensive guard. I went for a few things. Dude was real strong. The other thing is that when I weighed in, I just weighed in with all my clothes on. Yeah. I didn't care. I was really light in a weight class above me. So I would have normally been in the weight class below. So I was like 75.5 kilograms in a weight class that went up to 79. And everybody who was in my weight class weighed in at 79. It's not saying, that it was cool, but it's just saying that I definitely noticed a size and strength difference on the guy that I was rolling with. So I was trying to do some stuff from guard, got defensive guard, stood up, tried to pull my leg out. He grabbed my leg. I rolled under. I was being creative. I wasn't tired. I rolled under him. I fucking grabbed his toe. And what do you know? Another toe hold. My favorite thing.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. So, and I was glad I could do it at Naga too, because, passing guard is fun, but I still kind of go back to how I first started jiu-jitsu, and that was like the positional game is important. So like sometimes I get into I pass guard, get into position, and then I fucking have a hard time securing a submission. So, which is stuff to work on. This is all stuff I got to work on, And then my last match, we went back and forth. A dude fucking broke his arm.
I heard about that.
Dude, so me and this guy in the final, we were about to go at it. And this dude was a competitor. He was a big, lanky dude. And he was good. He was a real good competitor. I mean, this is blue belt intermediate. There were like 12 good dudes in my division. But a dude right behind us broke his fucking arm. It was like his bone was like jutting out of his skin. And he was like screaming. And then so I turned, and me and the guy I was going against, we helped carry the stretcher out, which, by the way, there were so many people getting carried out of stretchers at that fucking competition.
Yeah.
Knees were popping, arms were breaking. Those fucking Germans, like the people who were carrying him out, they did not have a good plan. It took them a real long time to get a car around to drive this dude to the hospital. It was fucking. You would not see that at an American event.
No, you get hurt, you're gone.
I will tell you, our paramedics and our EMTs in America are underpaid and really good at what they do. So, anyway, so I do this match with this guy. We have a big back and forth match, but I could tell this dude is a competitor. He has an answer for everything I do. We go back and forth. We ended up in this weird leg lock position. Dude heel hooks me like fucking just is like, my heel is so slippery, it's like popping out, so I don't tap because I'm stupid. And then, and you know, we're just going back and forth, and then like we're in this weird position. I'm putting pressure on his like knee or something, and then we had this weird break where he was like, I think I tore my ACL, and we both just sort of sat there, you know. And he's like, it's an old injury, and I'm like, okay. And we just were sitting on the ground. The ref wasn't making us stand up or anything. We were still in the middle of the match, and then eventually she's like, do you want to continue this guy? And he's like, takes a while to answer, and then we start up again, and I go for it. I like went for a takedown. Dude, like, I don't remember what happened, but the dude took my back and he choked me, and his conditioning was, you know, above mine. He had just won IBJJF like a few weeks prior, whenever that was. Dude was good, and he was like, but I hung with the fucking basically the best blue belt in this region, which I feel like I feel pretty good about.
You should. You really should.
Yeah. So anyway, I've been talking for a while. I took second in no-gi, and then I had a gi match later. But I got some. My mind wasn't in it. I got some real bad news between my no-gi and my gi. A buddy of mine is real sick, and my mind was just like, I was gone, and I was okay with it. And that's the thing. It didn't matter. I lost that match. The gi match to a guy that I probably should not have lost to, just, you know, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, it literally doesn't matter. But I'm happy, and I'm happy that I went up against 12, you know, guys who were good enough to go to Naga and compete in no-gi intermediate. You know, that's the next level down from the expert. So, you know, I got the only medal that I've ever gotten in my entire life that I'm actually proud of.
Good job. That's impressive.
Yeah. So.
How many people paid for you to go?
What's that?
How many people crowdfunded you to go?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I think I owe Eva some money. I think she actually did pay for that. I totally forgot. Yeah, I got to get that back.
That's all good. I was just joking about
that.
Man.
No,
that's a good deal, man. You know,
yeah.
Competition's good. I think it's good for experience. I don't know. My views on competition have changed a lot in the past few years. It's fun, but I'm just having more fun just doing jiu-jitsu. I do want to compete again, but I just enjoy what I do, man. I like showing up to class. I like getting beat up by you guys. I like rolling around. I like trying to figure out the big puzzle. And then I'll get back into it.
Do you like teaching more than you like competing?
You know, I do. It's more stressful, though.
Yeah.
Like
if people just don't get the move, or you're
not even
you sort of
that. I mean, you know, most people get like real like I joke about it, and I've put the meme up of the guy who's like, okay, now put your right hand on the hip, and it's like white belt moves like forehead to the mat, and he like shows him putting his hand on his head.
Yeah.
But it's stressful as in like when you guys compete, because now I'm taking all the stress of like all the like.
Yeah.
I'm internalizing it.
Oh,
because I am so fucking terrible at taking my own advice.
Yeah.
Aaron, it's cool, man. Don't worry about going out there and losing. It's just, no, I'm not going to kick you out of the gym, nothing like that. And then, like, even when I go out and compete, it's like, well, Rob, you better win because you're in front of your students. You look like a fucking idiot if you don't. And that does make it worse. But, like, you know.
I feel like you can have a healthy want, you know, a healthy, like, desire to win, while still understanding. This is where I'm coming at it now. Is like, I'm like, so I did Naga, which is, I mean, what's the biggest jiu-jitsu tournament in Germany?
It might be the Munich Open.
Might be the Munich Open. Is that IBJJF? Yeah, that's what this kid who beat me won.
Oh, nice.
He won that in blue belt. And so, you know, yeah, okay. So Naga that's a big fucking tournament.
It is for Germany. It's a huge fucking tournament.
It's big, and it's like, okay. So one of the reasons why I did this was to see where I was at. Like, if I could channel and go out there on the mats the way that I roll in the gym, you know, I have these things in the gym where it's like, I get in my own head. I'm like, I keep doing this pattern. I keep getting caught in this, or I keep, you know, I move to this position and it's not working. But one of my reasons was to figure out what I needed to work on and where I really stacked up against other people. Like if we just went at it, who's going to win? And so I did well, and I saw that I validated the things that you, like even the stuff you said earlier in the podcast, but the things that you've been saying for a while is just, I don't think, like I don't suck, which is great. That's fucking awesome for me. But there's so much to work on, and there's a lot of stuff. There's stuff that I used to do that I forgot how to do.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird, isn't it?
It'll come back. That's the thing. That's why I tell people when I teach moves is when they're white belts. I mean, I had the worst case. Like, it's different now. It's different now because when I see somebody do moves, like my brain says, learn every detail of it because you might not get this chance again.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was a white belt, I remember sitting on the mat watching like a triangle choke, something simple.
Yeah.
And all the details are coming at me, and I have that okay, legs around the head. That's how it works. Okay, legs around the head.
Yeah.
Maybe one arm in. I don't know. And then get it. And then, of course, the coach at the time, Brian or Neil, said, no, it's not that. And I remember Brian even saying, like, no, the only reason I tapped that triangle is because your balls were in my face. And they're like, you weren't choking me at all.
Oh, man.
I was like, all right, that's cool.
Well, I tell you, man, it's so I can see, and this is I think I've graduated to sort of the next level for me in my intellectual understanding of how to learn and how to do these things, is that I feel like, when you're out there competing, something that you can see from a lot of different positions and you can make happen, that's great. But knowing exactly how to set up what you want, how to trick them into giving it to you, like it's beyond that see it, go for it, get it, right? That's like your that's like a direct to submission approach.
Yeah.
Now at this level, at the blue belt level, I feel like it's one thing above that. It's want it, distraction into what you want. So like you might do a hip bump sweep into a Kimura.
Yeah.
And it's like you have to, for everything that you want to do, it has to be like that. So I think, for me it was like it looked like I was passing guard, but then I grabbed the toe hold. So that was but
stringing moves together.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, like I was getting
and then as it gets more and more, like you get and higher, you have to do 1 or 2 or 3 moves ahead to get to what you want, and then even then it's not guaranteed.
Yeah, like, well, that's what I was saying, was like, there are certain things that you see as a white belt, like I was saying with the triangle.
Yeah.
And it's like, leg goes around head. But then I remember there were certain moves that I saw and we never revisited, and then they showed up later when I was like a blue belt. And I say, I remember Neil did this one thing in no-gi where if somebody turns into you, you put your elbow into their ribs. And then, like, I still kind of had at least not like expertise, but at least a little bit of the know-how to understand how it worked.
Yeah.
And that's where it came back to. So, like, in the middle of a match, like, oh, shit, well, there's this thing called the stapler. I'm going to fucking staple him to the mat.
Yeah.
And I hadn't done that in, like, years or even attempted it. So, the stuff comes back and you forget about it. Like the choke I got you with, the only reason I remember is because my wrist was sore as fuck afterwards because of that old injury, the modified
Ezekiel
collar choke from the rear.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I was like, shit, I haven't done that in months.
Well, did I tell you that after my match with old boy, I couldn't walk on Sunday?
Really?
I literally could not walk. Like, I was in so much pain from my heels, and I still am. They're still, I can't run. I can walk, a lot, but I tried going for a run, and I had to stop after like 5
Nobody
minutes.
took you out in a stretcher?
No. It was like they I don't know, man. It was like I got pulled on, it's like your ligaments or your tendons or something, or your muscles. It was probably my muscles, really, that they got cranked on a bunch, and it wasn't enough to do any permanent damage, but it was like a very, very deep muscle tendon soreness.
Yeah.
Like they had been damaged or inflamed, but not to the point of no return.
Okay.
So I took a bunch of ibuprofen. I didn't ice them because I'm just lazy. And I just literally did nothing Sunday. at all, or Monday.
Shit, I wouldn't either.
Yeah,
it's tournament time, man. Like,
yeah, I felt
classes were sparse.
Dude, you know what the other thing is, man?
What's
the fucking nutrition. So like keeping yourself, like, you can't eat a bunch of shit. Like, you can't eat like burgers and stuff at competition day, because you're gonna get like I feel like you're gonna get really tired. You're gonna have a big lump in your stomach, and you're gonna have to digest that for hours and hours. I ate more sugar on that competition day than I have since I was probably a little kid. I had little Gatorade chews. I had bananas. I had water with like B vitamins, electrolytes in it. I had I had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It was just like, but that really helped. That really, really helped when it came time to do my matches. You have to, like, I had to make myself eat, and that's a big accomplishment for me, because in the past, when I was nervous about stuff, like, I used to do CrossFit competitions and feel exactly the same way. I could never eat. I would just shit super hard all day, just go to the bathroom and just fucking shit.
You got a case of 315s?
What's 315s?
You shit for 3 minutes, you wipe for 15?
yeah. It was like, it would be like that. Dude, man, it's just so funny how your body just, like, revolts.
Yeah.
And it's entirely controlled by your mind. Entirely controlled by what's going on in your head. It is so weird. I've been discovering this. The last couple years I've been discovering this. Just how much impact your mind has on your body. It's so weird, man.
Yeah. Damn. It's like a Zen-like almost.
It is. That was what I was telling. I was telling myself, you got to be Zen for this next match. You got to be Zen. And it also helps, like, when you're Zen like that and you can get pumped up, you put your headphones in and you listen to, like, a song that's going to, like,
really
is really going to, yeah. So that helps. But when you're really nervous, nothing helps. You know, when you're super anxious, it doesn't matter what you do.
You just give yourself diarrhea at that point.
You just you shit, and you just pee every 5 seconds.
So you're getting dehydrated off the bat.
Oh, dude. Oh, it's awful, man. That was me. I mean, so now, I'm going to, I'll wait a while, and when the next competition comes up, I'm going to improve and really drill the stuff that I want to be able to do again. Like, Marcelo Garcia hits the same few things over and over and over and over and over again, and it's because he sees it, he does it immediately.
Yep.
He puts it in the position and that's where I want to be. You don't have to have a million different submissions. You just have to have a couple of things from every position that you can set up really well. And that's sort of, maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe as you get higher up in jiu-jitsu, you really have to add. It's like creating a character, developing a character in a role-playing video game. Like, you start out with this. You can. Like, you ever play like Morrowind or any of the Elder Scrolls?
Hell no.
Oh, fuck, man, really?
No, I'm kidding. I played Skyrim.
Oh, geez, good. It's just like Skyrim. So you can either
some of my guys all fucked up looking. And
yeah,
has like all the stats and the wrong shit. That's pretty accurate to real life.
That's kind of like it's kind of like jiu-jitsu, but it's like you could put all your stats in just like, medium armor and fucking a sword and shield, and if that's all you put your stats in, you're gonna go out in the world and you're gonna fuck everybody up. Until you meet that one person who's actually immune to your thing. That's like 1 in a million, right?
Yeah.
Versus putting points in a whole bunch of, like, you have points in this fire magic, and you have points in bows, and you have points in just all these different things, and you can't beat anybody, or, I don't know. That's sort of how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I think it's dependent, honestly. I mean, like you said, Marcelo Garcia's good at a few things. He hits them all the time.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, sometimes if you have somewhat of an answer for each thing, I mean, it's better than having no answer at all. Like, I can kind of do this side control escape, whereas instead of just laying there taking it.
Yeah.
Like a bitch.
Like a little bitch.
Like a little bit. No, I mean, it's better to have some sort of answer than no answer. Like, so I don't know if I would say that points in all the stats is a bad thing. A little bit of knowledge everywhere. I mean, it's going to grow over time.
Oh, yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, I mean, it's not the best comparison either, because in jiu-jitsu, you have to be able to do certain things.
Yeah.
You have to be able to fucking, have reliable escapes from just about every position. I mean, you just can't do anything without them.
Remind me, because I don't know why my mind went to it. Remind me to show you the Unarmed Viking Badass Skyrim video if you ever seen it.
Unarmed Viking Badass. No, I don't know.
After this, I'll show you. And
Okay.
It's the best Skyrim video ever made.
It's better than the arrow in the knee thing.
Oh, dude,
took an arrow to the knee.
Dude, that's come
dude,
on, man.
It's funny how memes and stuff used to last. Like, took an arrow to the knee was like that was like
we're still
years.
talking about it. Like,
Dude,
it's still
yeah.
it's
It's
not
so
relevant, but we still
yeah.
know it. You know?
Yeah, but now it's like a meme is like a fucking day, if that. You know.
Sure. Yeah. Back in my days, we built memes to last.
Back in my day, memes lasted years. Not like these kids nowadays.
Like, I can't even keep up with it. I mean, like, what was it? The lady who like had her hands on her knees, like breathing hard and squinting.
Yeah.
What was that? 4 days, maybe. 4 fucking days.
I don't even remember, man. I don't even remember. Yeah. What's and now that's the FBI agent guy who shot him. Dude, have you seen that?
What, the guy who did like the backflip, pulled his gun out and fucking shot somebody?
Yeah, he fucking did a backflip. His gun fell. He was dancing. He was in the middle of this dance circle. Dude, I've been to that bar in Denver.
Really?
I recognized it immediately. I was like, oh, there's that turf and the lights and a bunch of people in a circle, and that's Mile High Spirits. 100%. I've been there. It's a great place for people to go.
And the FBI to shoot you? Or?
Not also, great place to get shot in the leg.
Fuck.
Great place to form a dance circle, then get shot in the leg.
So what asshole brings a fucking, like, what law enforcement agent goes
somebody
to a club?
Who's been doing it? They've probably been doing that for fucking years, and that is probably in the FBI culture. They're probably like, I'm sure all those fucking agents do that, and I think cops do it too. I'm 100% sure that cops, law enforcement, all these people that carry guns all the time, that they go out and drink and carry guns, because then they're like, well, what if something happens, and also they're allowed to do it, and they're never going to get in trouble until they do something like this.
In all fairness, though, I have gone out, so like some of the people I train with, former cops, or are cops, no FBI agents, but cops, and they're very like adamant. They're like, no, I'm leaving it in the car.
That's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're also not shitheads too. So I mean,
that's fair. Yeah, you don't seem
also,
like
I
the
don't
kind
hang
of person.
out like,
you're not the kind of person who hangs out with shitheads.
Nah.
But I feel like, I mean, this dude is. I mean, the FBI recruits basically squares with college degrees. They don't, you can't ever fucking like do drugs or anything or have any sort of personality. That's not true, man. I know FBI guys; they're all right. But it's. You're the fucking FBI. Who's going to tell you no? So it's like, I don't know. But like,
maybe the local police after you shoot somebody in the leg.
Absolutely. I mean, but this is what I'm saying is that this guy didn't just carry that gun in there that night. He must do that all the time.
I mean, that is a good point. I mean, nobody is like, well, fuck it. I kind of.
Yeah.
What goes well with my glasses and my my club apparel.
What goes well with a vodka soda? How about a Glock?
And a backflip.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
And you know what the fucked up thing was? He panicked. He panicked and he fucking reached for the gun. You can see in the video. He did the backflip. The gun fell out. It fell onto the floor because modern guns don't go off when they hit the floor. And then he picked it up and panicked and shot somebody. He shot somebody because he was super adrenalined out and drunk. There's no way. Otherwise, like, he would have picked it up, put it back in his pants, and walked away. And it would have been fine. I don't know. Sucks for that guy, but also sucks for the dude that he shot in the leg.
Yeah, I think it sucks worse for the guy.
Yeah.
Like, look, you know. I'm pretty sure in the academy they're like, whatever you guys do not go out drinking, doing backflips with a gun.
Oh, you know that they're going to start putting this in the curriculum now. They're going to start showing this video. They should.
It was like the DEA agent who pulled out his gun, showing off to the kids, and shot himself in the leg.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude. Those videos, man. I can't watch them sometimes. I get so, like, I get embarrassed for that guy. I'm like, God,
he's trying to be cool for the kids.
Why are you doing this, Oh, man. Ugh. I don't know.
I'm surprised. I don't know. A lot of people accidentally shoot themselves and others because they're idiots.
I think that's absolutely. I think you're probably you're gonna be, if you shoot I don't know. That's a whole other subject. I don't think you're a bad person if you have a negligent discharge.
No, not negligent discharge.
Yeah, I don't think you're a bad person. I think you fucked up. People fuck up all the time. If nobody died, But this is like, it just sucks, man.
It does.
Yeah.
What a depressing way to end the show.
I got a silver medal, though.
You got a silver medal.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah.
Word. Well, before we head out and we talk about your silver medal, you got anything you want to leave with the folks?
Yeah, just, I did this, so in all seriousness, I did this competition because I was afraid to do it. And I'm really glad that I did. But I also put a lot of work into it. It wasn't, didn't just go out and do it. I put a lot of work into mitigating the things that made me afraid. So if you're thinking about doing a competition, don't feel like you have to do it. But if it scares you, I think you should probably mitigate. You should think about what actually is causing you anxiety and try and address that. And then do your competition, have fun. And if it's not fun, this is what I always say to myself. If it's not fun, I'm not fucking doing it.
Yeah, just quit. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Quit.
Crowdfund your trip to
Mars. Buy new geese. Say you need a vacation. People will buy it for you. Yeah. You don't have to work anymore. Just crowdfund everything.
Don't get a job.
Groceries.
Yeah.
Medical bill. Well, I mean, medical bills within reason. Because I straight up was like, oh shit, they have cancer. Yeah.
If your parents are alive, they are often a very good source of money.
Yeah. Sometimes you can sell your plasma and/or your body for money. You can
sell your bodily fluids. You can
all of them.
You could cut your
all of them. You can
sell almost everything. Can you sell earwax? I don't know. I got a lot of that, man. I got a lot of earwax.
And that's how you can pay for your next Naga there.
Yeah. All right. So anybody wants to buy my earwax, I'm selling it in support of my next Naga tournament.
Excellent. With that disgusting news, this has been the Big Jiu-Jitsu Show. Remember the Pod Bros Podcast Network. Don't forget to go to podbros.com and find yourself another podcast you want to listen to. And don't forget to check out our sponsors, Trap and Roll Soap Company, Tape Armor, and Rolls Gear. And you can find all of our old episodes, T-shirts, patches, and such other things at bjjshow.com. I'm Rob.
I'm Aaron.
We'll see you guys next time.